Hello everyone, I'm Shubhayan Sahu and I'm a PhD student at the University of Maryland, and today we are going to demonstrate an experiment on bifilar pendula. So what we have here, let me go through the apparatus for you. We have two pendula with two components each. So there is an upper component which is hanging from one shaft, and then there is a lower pendula which is hanging from the upper one, and we have two copies of the same thing here. So what we are going to do in this experiment is we will start, we'll release these two different pendula from the same point as much as possible, and once we release them, we'll track how these two pendula behave once we release them. So before I start the experiment, I want you to think about what you predict will happen, because I'm starting the two pendula roughly at the same point at the same time. Do you think that it will track it, or it will oscillate in sync, or do you think something else will happen? Just take a moment to think about it, and we will see what happens when we demonstrate the experiment. So here we go. We'll start the two bifilar pendula at the same place at the same time, and we'll see what happens. So as we can see, though we started the two bifilar pendula at the same place at the same time, initially they were tracking each other and they were oscillating in sync, but in no time the motions of the two different pendula were very different. And the reason behind this is that so the pendula are oscillating. The physical force that is governing them are the restorative force, which pulls it back. But for complex pendula like this, the initial conditions play a very important role. So even though we tried to start the two different pendula at the same time, at the same place, but there was a little difference in the initial condition. There were little differences in the initial conditions when I started them, and these initial conditions actually govern the subsequent motions in such a way that the two different motions were completely different. And these dynamical processes happen regularly in nature, and this is what constitutes chaos in physical systems. And this is a simple demonstration of that. Thank you.